Hi, I'm Gracie, and this is Scott from Small Worlds Big Adventures, and we are here in the new year with something we've never done before.
Yeah.
And that is we purchased a box organizer for one of our games, Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Yep.
Do you want to talk a little bit about why we chose Lost Ruins out of all of our many games?
Lost Ruins has a lot of little pieces to it.
Yeah.
A few kind of individual card sets, a bunch of cardboard tokens, extra cardboard tokens, and then some cardboard tokens on top of that. Then each player has their own set of some wooden meeples and their own cards and stuff. So there's kind of a lot in there. And after we had gotten done doing it, you had a big pile of Ziploc bags.
So many Ziploc bags.
We had used to organize it ourselves, which is kind of what we do for most of our games is use Ziploc bags to organize them. If they don't come with a really good organization, which sadly most games don't.
They're getting better.
They're getting better. The board games are getting better, and they're being more conscious about if they have inserts, how will they work set on their side, which has become the thing essentially now. Certainly when I was younger, we set them all on their bottoms, and you put them in your closet, and that's how you set Monopoly and Risk and stuff in there. But that's not how you do modern games.
And then you had to do the shuffle of lift and pull.
Yeah, you would. I mean, it's much better. Like this system is a lot better, and modern game designers, some of them are starting to understand that and make sure that their games are set up so that they don't all fall to pieces. Some of them come with their own bags, or we don't see a lot of good card organizing beyond having like a spot in the plastic for them to go. I don't know if we've mentioned on any of our things, but we bought a self-adhesive tape that we use for our card stuff, which works really good. We like that a lot.
Yeah, we do. It sticks to itself and nothing else.
Yeah.
Another reason we went with Lost Ruins is because we do play it more often than some of our other games.
Yeah.
So regardless of what company you go with, these organizers can be as much, if not more, than the game.
Yeah. When you're looking at them, if you're purchasing an organizer, almost all of them will cost as much as
yes.
This one, if I remember correctly, probably $10 more than what Arnak costs. I believe we got Arnak for like $40. The cost for this was basically $50. It was $49. But again, Arnak's got so many pieces that it takes you a long time to set it up.
Yeah.
And the hope is that not only does this organize it so you can set it on its side and you don't have to worry about everything falling apart, but you can just pull out the different trays and everything is basically ready to go and save you a whole lot of time. And I know some of them do really good with that and some of them maybe not so much. It's hard to tell. This is the first time that we've done like this, but it looks we haven't played it since we've organized it, but it looks like it will save quite a bit of time compared to how it was.
Yes. Now when it came in one of those, what is that wood called?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, the wood that everything's laser cut out of.
Laser cut wood.
So it came in little wood panels, and then you could pop it out, and then you had to like assemble it. They encourage you to use glue, which we did, but also you could just assemble it. It just wouldn't be as sturdy as if you used glue, wood glue specifically.
Yeah.
The directions that came with it were really good for putting it together. I didn't have too many moments where I was like, oh, that's the wrong piece.
Yeah.
Having said that, a lot of the pieces did look similar.
Sure.
So you did have to kind of like keep track of it.
Make sure. Yeah.
Maybe don't like watch a very engrossing show while you're doing this. Some of the things they recommend having is like a file and a sander, because when you snap pieces, they don't always snap out smoothly.
Wood. Yeah.
And then it also came laser engraved with some titles for some things.
Yeah.
But as far as putting it together goes, like pretty easy process. I think it took me probably an hour.
Yeah.
But I was going slow.
There's quite a bit to it.
Yeah, there is. There's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 10-ish trays.
Yeah, separate of various sizes and complexity. Yeah.
So, there's that too. It's not just one big tray. It's
Yeah,
all little
yeah.
ones. But yeah, I think putting together went fairly easy.
Good.
Unlike putting the pieces into it.
Yeah.
Scott was there to help me.
Yeah.
I think
I thought I was just coming up to sit and watch you just put it together because I was interested to see how well it would go together. But the instructions weren't super clear. Not every tray had a good.
Not every section of every tray had a title on it.
Told you what was supposed to go in there, and then it turned out looking online, we couldn't find anything like a guide or anything, which surprised me a little bit. Found a guide for a different company for their Lost Ruins of Arnak, but that wasn't going to help us out.
We ended up, what was it, pictures from
from their website where you purchase the thing, they have probably 24 pictures of just what comes in the thing, but in part of that, they showed pictures of the stuff in the trays, and by that zooming in, you could pretty much see what was supposed to go where.
Yeah, and part of it was, I think, as a positive, they have room for the expansion with this, and we don't have the expansion.
Right.
So there was a little bit of that confusion too. Going, leader tokens, what are those?
Leader tokens?
And I think also like part of it is the names didn't necessarily perfectly line up with the instructions for the game. A lot were close. Like there was research
tokens. And you said research tiles,
something like that. And so like it was similar, and we got to figure it out. But also, like, if you've ever played a game, like, if you're just going straight in, I don't call the tokens what they're ever called. Here are the little red pieces. Here are the food cubes. Like, so definitely, like, if you're going to be, like, organizing your bucks, have the instructions for both the organizer and the game, plus and any additional help.
And we might put just a short tutorial on what goes where as maybe a separate video even from this.
Yeah.
Just a short few minute thing to show you where to put it and then how to put it in the box.
But yeah, so that was the hardest part. Having said that, like the whole thing probably took us 10 minutes to organize the box.
Yeah. 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah. So it wasn't like a horrible thing, and now it's just in there.
Yeah.
And they do include a very good diagram of like how to put the insert into the box.
In order to fit everything properly, there's a kind of a specific puzzly way to put it in.
Including which way you orient one of the boxes. Even though to me it looks like a perfect square. But definitely I think like between my multi-baggy system of organization for this game, this will be so much easier to set up. It will literally be popping out.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited to play it and set it up and try it that way, and then see how easy it is to just put everything back in its proper spot too, and put it away.
Do you have like any final thoughts? Like, are you? I know we plan to do more of these, but like, are you thinking that's a good idea still, or is it more just?
Yeah, I'm going to want to have played it.
Yes.
With the new thing, and honestly, like I think we probably should have played it with the old style, or at least set up the game. And that might have been a mistake not to have done that, and then set up the game with the new thing and just see how much time we do save doing that. It seems like for a game like this, especially, we're going to save a good 10 minutes of time essentially setting up the game. It's a lot of pieces, and it takes a while to put the stuff on. If everything just pulls right out of the box and is already well organized, that's gonna help out a lot. This looks nice and it fit. You literally put it on its side and shook it, and honestly, everything stayed in there a lot better than I expected it to do.
I was so nervous. There are, aside from 2 boxes, there are no lids up or covers, and there's a lot of tokeny stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know about this.
I was expecting there to be a lot more mixing, especially when you shook it hard.
I did.
She put it on its side basically at first, and then set it down and looked, and it was pretty much fine. And then she picked it up and shook it, and like a British nanny shakes a baby, and it came out still looking pretty good.
Yeah.
So great. Honestly, that's super great. I think it's something where it is a little cost prohibitive. It's essentially
Yeah.
We try to budget about enough money to buy a game a month.
Yep.
For gaming. Now, sometimes we go over that. Some years we go over that. But the cost for one of these is in there. This is Broken Tokens.
Yeah.
I don't know if we
mentioned. Broken Tokens, the brand we went with for this one.
There's at least 3 brands out there, and there's a few others, especially with 3D printed stuff. Yeah. The cost for these are within about $10 or $15 of each other, so they're pretty comparable. But that's basically the cost of the games. It means I'm getting this or I'm getting the game. Mm-hmm. I would not do this for all the games we have.
No,
but for especially some of the bigger or more complex games, I do think that I would do this again for some of them, and already have, like, there are some that I already have in mind that I think as we're going down the line, maybe through this year or something, maybe do this again and get a couple more for those. So looking at it, the wood is nice. It's laser engraved with some stuff. There's a couple of big boxes for the cards and stuff, and those look cute with like symbols on them. Yeah. The next one that we'll not be doing that's coming is we got Wax of Quedlinburg, and we've got the
Tower Rex
version of the insert for that, and it looks like they go a bit above and beyond to make the stuff really look fancy, and I'm kind of excited to see how that looks. The cost for their stuff is a little more expensive than Broken Tokens, though, too, so you're kind of paying for that. So we're definitely doing that. We also have a 3D printer, although it's on the fritz right now, but my hope is to print out my own, not one that I designed, but one that I get off of the internet.
And we'll give that person credit.
We'll give that person credit for one of the games, too, and kind of see how we like that as well. We have done in the past, for holding cards while you're playing, which has been really handy to have. But I'm interested to see if we can do a whole box insert one. So at least 2 more probably episodes of how does this work and how do we like it. I'm impressed. Broken Token, they make the dice tower that I've got over here, if you can see it. And same thing. Yeah, it was same type of wood, and I punched it out and put it together, and I was really impressed with that. And I'm pretty impressed with this. Would endorse getting one for a game, especially a complex game with a lot of pieces. It seems like it could help out a whole lot.
I personally agree. We are different people.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I hate more than opening a box and it's chaos.
Yep.
Again, I wouldn't get one of these for every game we have. No. Some games are excellent. Like one of the ones.
Some already come great. Yeah.
One of the ones we considered because we played all the time is Lords of Waterdeep. But like when we got in there, we're like, this is pretty well organized.
The only problem with Lords of Waterdeep is it was not set up to be set on its side. And there are some spots in at least the version that we've got that the stuff falls out on its side. But most of it stays fine in there. Yeah.
And then so there's not the need to do it for everything, but again, like this one, it was just sheer bags of pieces,
just bags on the board, and the instructions is basically all that's in there.
So for this game, I think it makes a lot of sense, and I would do it again. We got, was it Quaxid Quedlinburg? That's the one we got the Tower Rex one with. Yep. Which I'm excited to see what that looks like. One more box that I would like to do, because it's notoriously on the least organized games of all time, is Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Yeah.
Again, it's a box you open, it's just however you organized it.
Our version certainly is unorganized. Taverns of Terranthal, or whatever that's called. I feel like you might want to do that if somebody has a version of that.
I might do a rant because I can't with that board game. But if you have the funds and you have a game you play a lot and you're like me to some extent and want an organized box, or you just want to be able to pull it out so it's easier to set up, would recommend. And if you're going to, would recommend Broken Token.
Great gift.
Oh yeah,
that's a really good. That's really if you know somebody well enough,
Valentine's,
to know what games they've got and that they don't have it or something like that. Great gift.
Yeah.
one game, and we don't have it, is Gloomhaven.
Yeah.
Is notoriously bad for taking a long time to set up. And I have a friend who has it with some of the expansion stuff, and he had bought an insert thing specifically designed to aid in setup, and he said it was night and day playing that game. So yeah, if it's a game that you like, especially maybe your favorite game or something like that, it is probably worth getting.
Oh, for sure. One thing with like a game that sets up easy, which depending on what you get, this allows that, is if you have to take 30 minutes to set up a game and you have new players, that's a turn off.
It's one, it's dead time because it's kind of hard to be talking with somebody when you are concentrating on how to set up the game. So you're kind of out of it anyways. And it's not impressive if somebody's sitting there watching you just put this together. But why would they ever want to play a game like that? Yeah.
So if you want to corrupt your friends, this makes it easier.
Something like that.
If you liked hearing our review of this, you can go ahead and boop that like button. If you want to hear more board game reviews, gamekeeper tips, or see what other game inserts we end up getting and how that process goes, you can go ahead and hit subscribe. And if you want to tell us what should the question be?
What if Pop was going to play some video games and was maybe going to upload it to site? What video games would you be interested in seeing?
Because he's going to do that.
Hopefully it's Galactic Civilization 4, because that's what's going to be coming up. But if you have a request,
put it down.
Put it down in the comments below.
That's right. And otherwise, we'll see you next week.